Hello everyone, this is the post-game review for the Saruman deck, and although we did win pretty well, the offense and defense aspects of it worked quite effectively. I would caution that that was against a deck that seemed to be fairly early on in its baking process, and even despite our victory, we still had a few hiccups. The crunch of all the stage point cards right near the kind of middle beginning third of the game admittedly was actually more player error than deck construction error, but still something to watch out for. I should have definitely pulled out Great Patron instead of some of these other stuff. I'm also not convinced about the sapling of the white tree Wizard's Trove, eventually play White Tree stuff. The original plan was to play the sapling at Mount Graham, but Mount Graham is a shadow hold, which I forgot about, and thus is not eligible to play the sapling. We're also very, very tight on general influence for almost the entire game. If he had had a Call of Home and bounced Ulkar the Tongueless back to the hand, that would have knocked out an item. It would have knocked out the No More Nonsense. We would have lost two factions. It's ugly. I do think that, we are going to be tight because no matter what we do, Saruman's only got 15 general influence, and that's not great. But I do think we could tighten things up a little bit. So I think we should get rid of this, and get rid of the white tree. Let's add in a Wizard's Myrmidon. That, we can make it one of the larger orcs, or we can make Ulkar the Myrmidon, and that could save us two more. If we put it on Ulkar, that saves us two more general influence and helps him get the factions. Probably want one more item or an ally, perhaps. One, two, three, four, 5 items. Got 11 points cards. We could do. Oh, why don't we just do Guarded Haven? Unless that's in the deck already. No, it's not. Yeah, we just put in a Guarded Haven. Because as long as we have the as long as we're going to be camping out in Ettenmoors, may as well make it a Guarded Haven. It gives us another stage point, so it makes it a little easier to plop down the Gather of Loyalties whenever we choose to take it out of the sideboard, and messes up. I mean, not that people are banging the door down to go to the Ettenmoors, but we could stop that. And it also does. It has the same thing about preventing the movement. So that's actually very useful. With no way forward, we then have a larger blob of an area. I don't think I was playing that right in my earlier games. Okay, that's more useful than I realized. And hopefully we can do that. And I suppose we get one more thing to put. I'd kind of like a hero resource. We sometimes had a bit of too much because the characters are all minions. Most of our resources here are stage, so we can use either the hero or the minion ones, but we couldn't use smoke rings to pull out a mechanical bow if we wanted one. And since 2/3 of our sideboard pulling cards are hero ones, and we don't have too many And Longbottom Leaf is more powerful than Smoke Rings. It pulls 2 cards out. On the other hand, though, we do have almost all of our characters are orcs or trolls, so it's very difficult to actually use any of the hero resources. Are there any sage-only cards? We could do something, I'm sure, with... I'm just trying to, because we have the Palantir of Anuminas. I mean, we lost it in our game, but there's nothing great here. I was just thinking some way of something we could yank out of the discard pile with Saruman using the orb. Or we could just do another. Actually, no, I have an idea. We'll put in another character. I can't remember what he's called. Sly Southerner. And we might want to add one to the pool as well. One thing that I was thinking of is we definitely want Uthak in Ugluk's party, just to have a backup ranger. His skills are useful, and with the whip we can have him follow along. Grishnak, now when we compare Grishnak and a Sly Southerner, Grishnak's got a 3 higher prowess. The main thing I'm thinking is that, we could save a little bit of influence. The Sly Southerner only has a 2 mind, and it knocks down to 1 when we get a Strident spawn out. Which means that, say, Ugluk with a whip could have both the Sly Southerner and Uthak follow him. I think I'll just keep him in the sideboard as, replacement in case something happens. And I was very, very pleased with how the hazard setup worked. Now, again, some of that was luck. We didn't run into any annoying Voices of Malice / Marvel's Told or whatever else to knock out the No Way Forward, and his own hazard environment seemed to be based around Doors of Night, so no one was trying to knock out mine. But I was quite pleased with the way the hazard deck turned out, especially with the way that we used the unexpected outposts to recycle each other, and Mouth of Sauron to recycle other things for whatever we needed at the moment. Anyway, I think this deck is more or less complete, and I think next up are going to be the blue wizards, Alatar and Palando, in their Fallen Wizard incarnations. Hope you found this interesting and informative.